everybody, to another episode of the Talking with Heroes talk show program. I am Bob Calvert, founder and host at talkingwithheroes.com. Thank you for your service.us. And we're here at USA headquarters in San Antonio, Texas. And we're here on this episode, again, with Angela Salyer. She's Director of Communications with the Comfort Crew, comfortcrew.org.
Thanks for
Welcome,
having
Angela.
me.
It's great to work with you, collaborate with you again.
Always.
You're also a member of the R4Alliance.org. And why don't you tell a little bit about yourself and what led you to do this amazing program you're doing with the Comfort Crew?
Sure. Well, I think everyone at the Comfort Crew grew up a military kid, and we are a nonprofit, a national nonprofit based out of Austin. And we provide programs and resources for military kids and their families to help them deal with deployments, reintegration, sometimes injuries, and even loss. And so I've been with the Comfort Crew for 5 years now as the Director of Communications, and enjoyed our collaboration with R4 Alliance as well.
It was interesting, the last time we did a video program together, it was a couple of years ago. My grandkids, I found out, had received a Comfort Crew kit.
That's true.
While Keith was deployed.
Right, and we didn't even know that.
I didn't even know that.
I know, that's great.
So you're really
very interesting.
reaching out.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about, this is a kit here, right?
It is. And one of the really interesting things about this is the deployment kit and actually our reintegration kit that I brought today. And we've recently were able to partner with USAA, and we came down in November, and they had their employees put together 1,200 of these deployment and reintegration kits to send out to military families who were on a wait list waiting for our resources. So we were very excited to be a part of that. We were able to come down, and wanted to show you a little bit about what the USAA employees were able to put together. In our deployment kit, which I'll go through, they all come with an animated DVD that really talks to military kids in their own language about deployment. We also have a writing journal. We really promote journaling as a way for children to express their feelings, and we use those same animated characters that you saw in the DVD to provide helpful prompts for kids to be able to draw or write, and even share this with their family member when they return home. This is actually for the parent. We have a family guidebook that really talks to parents about just giving them strategies on how to talk to their kids about the deployment. Some really helpful tips in there. And then the next couple of items that we have in our kit are really meant to help the parent and the child stay connected during a time of separation. So we have some postcards that kids can write or draw on, and they can send back and forth. And we have some dog tags. I actually have Cuzzy wearing the dog tags. And each dog tag, if you could see real close, says, "With you all the way." And so one can stay with the child and one can go with the parent that's deploying. It's really neat. It's probably my favorite part of the kit. Just something that they can kind of hold close to their heart, something tangible that each one can have while they're separated. And then of course Cuzzy here is our comfort item in the comfort kit. And Cuzzy is named Cuzzy. Cuzzy cares. He has several little patches on him, you can see, because he's had lots of bumps and bruises along the way, but he always gets back up. He's very resilient, just like the military kids he serves. And these resources are really meant for children ages 6 through 12. When we were here for the USAA service project, we actually had each employee that packed a kit write a note of encouragement to the child that would be receiving this kit. And so you can see here Comfort Crew and USAA, and then each one wrote a very nice note. So I wanted to bring this as an example. But families were still receiving letters and pictures from several families that received these, thanking both Comfort Crew and USAA for that project and being able to provide these resources to those families that need them.
Do you have any idea, I know this is kind of off here, but do you have any idea how many military kids have received these kits over the years?
Sure. So we've been able to get a little over 100,000 deployment kits out over the years. We have probably sent a little over 10,000 of the grief kits out to families who have lost someone. Similarly, about 10,000 of the injury kits. And the reintegration kit's fairly new, just the last couple years, and so we have been able to get about 2,500 of those out as well to start really helping families reconnect after a time of separation.
How do you reach the children, the military kids? I know
Sure.
you've done some programs at schools in the past.
Right, so we have two main programs. We have the With You All the Way tour. It's sponsored by the USO, and it allows us to go into schools on and off bases all over the world and really talk to kids about things that all kids are dealing with, whether it's doing homework or bullying, especially if a military kid's moving every 2 to 3 years. But it also talks to them about specific things that military kids have to deal with, like deployments and reconnecting after a time of separation. So we've talked to a little over 200,000 military kids over the last few years. So needless to say, we've learned a lot from them, just listening to what they've been going through and what kind of support they need. And then our other program are the kits here. And families come to our website and request them. We do currently have a wait list, so we're working hard to identify partners that can help provide these, just like USAA was able to step up and help us with the wait list at the end of last year. And then sometimes we get requests from FRGs or chaplains or military leadership, and we just work with them on getting those kits for upcoming deployment events and such.
Hopefully you can take care of that wait list. I know a lot of nonprofits like
to.
VetTrip, who are going to meet
Sure.
here in a couple days, a lot of them have wait lists now because the military
Right.
families are finding out what's available to them they didn't know about before.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
the great thing. I mean, it's always a positive
Yeah.
that our requests are up and that people have found out about these resources. It's positive, but just working really hard to be able to provide them what they need.
Talk a little bit about Rhonda. the founder.
Okay.
I know she has a
No, I love to talk
great
about Rhonda.
story.
So Rhonda Englander is our co-founder and executive director, and she really started the Comfort Crew based on her childhood. She actually lost her father in Vietnam when she was just 3 or 4 years old, and at that time nobody talked about Vietnam. She grew up thinking that she was the only child that had lost her dad in Vietnam, and so she recognized that this was an opportunity to make sure that we support this generation of military kids so that no one else has to go through this process feeling alone. So our tagline is "With You All the Way," and that's kind of the story behind it.
Great. How do people find out about you?
Sure.
Your website, you're on social media too.
We are. The website is comfortcrew.org, and then all of our social media is The Comfort Crew. And join us and take a chance to learn about us. We do provide these kits now at the generosity of our donors, and so everything helps, and we're working really hard to make sure that we can take care of these families waiting.
Exactly. And what's happening here with Comfort Crew and USAA is, again, another example of companies, organizations collaborating together, right? And that
Sure,
helps you.
absolutely. And just finding those partners that share the same mission and goals, and moving forward to really support our families the way they deserve.
Great. Anything else you'd like to share with the military families that they're watching right now?
Just thank you for your service. The whole family serves. Sometimes, especially the kids, they didn't ask for their family to sign up to be in the military and move every 2 or 3 years, but yet they sacrifice a lot. And so we recognize that, and we appreciate it, and we're with you all the way.
And talking with Todd earlier is a good example of that, about
Sure.
the children and the military family.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it obviously when he started to talk about it, there's always a lot of emotion behind what we hear when they talk about their families, and we hear so often that the best way for us to support them is to make sure that their families are taken care of and that they're receiving what they need. So we're trying our
Great.
best.
Well, it's great to work with you
Yes.
again.
You too.
Yep, look forward to it in the future too. So before we close, would you like to again give a shout out to our troops around the world?
Sure. As always, thank you so much for your service, for your family's service. Thank you so much.
Great. And from me and Talking with Heroes, same thing. Especially to those of you who are in an area right now, maybe someplace around the world where you could be in harm's way. We thank all of you, all our military, all of our veterans, all the military families for your service. But for those of you who are deployed, We definitely look forward to you coming home safe. Be safe over there. Stay alert. God bless you. And God bless America. And again, thank you to USAA for allowing us to come out here and collaborate with all these organizations and with USAA. So share these videos with everybody you can on all the social media. And when you've watched this and you're sharing it, please feel free to put a comment too. So thank you very much. And we'll be back with more on TalkingWithHeroes.com.